pleasure this morning to share with you all the agenda. All right, as you can see, it's a jam-packed meeting this morning. I want to start off though with introducing to you all our first speaker for the day, Dr. Brenda Summers, Director of Workforce Programs for the North Carolina Biosciences Organization, and very instrumental in the establishment of the Samuel M. Taylor Life Memorial Sciences Scholarship Program. Dr. Summers, at this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you so that you can talk about our Sam Taylor Scholarship for the 23-24 year. And if you don't mind, if you will be so kind as to let us know, we will move the slides for you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Brenda. I don't know why I'm getting feedback.
Oh.
Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I want to thank Brenda and all of you for your assistance with this scholarship fund. Brenda, if you could go on to the next slide. What I want to do is give you an overview and the purpose of the scholarship fund, who is eligible, the dates of interest for y'all, to know our deadlines, to tell you a little bit about the previous recipients, and then to take any questions you might have. Next slide. The scholarship fund was set up in memory of Sam Taylor, who was the founder and leader of NC Bio for 25 years. NC Bio is the trade association for the life science industry in North Carolina. We lobby the legislature, Congress. We do a lot on workforce for our biotech manufacturing members. We also do a lot of information sessions for our members. And Sam was the leader in setting up NC Bio Impact Training Program. That is the program that includes the universities and the community college systems. And Bio Network is the primary program in the community college system. Sam died of pancreatic cancer in 2021. Excuse me. And our members wanted to honor him because of all that he had done for the industry during the 25 years. So we set up a scholarship fund, and we talked about how do we want to do the scholarships. And we felt like with the amount of money we would be able to raise, that we could have the most impact by helping the community college students who many times don't have as many resources as students do in the colleges. Next slide. We distribute scholarships annually, and just so you know, our goal was $250,000 so that we could set up an endowment and get some interest on all of this. And we just reached our goal of $250,000. We have $200,000 in hand at the foundation, maybe a little less because of the scholarships we've given out. But we, the other amount is because people pledged over 3 to 5 years, so we're still collecting some money. But students can receive up to $3,000 a year, $1,500 a semester, excuse me, to cover tuition, fees, and books. To get a scholarship, students need to be residents of North Carolina and eligible for in-state tuition. And also they need to be enrolled in one of the following programs. And an AS degree is preferable, but some of the students are enrolled in some certificate programs, such as the clinical trials program, which has an associate degree, but also has certificates. Next slide, please. Students obviously have to keep up a grade point average that is commensurate with graduating. They need to be enrolled the whole time they're receiving the scholarship. So if they decide to drop out, then we do not continue the scholarship. You need to fill out this form, which I think most students have to fill out, and complete the community college's general application form. We also ask that students submit an essay about why they're interested in the life science industry and how this scholarship will help them financially. Next slide, please. This is located on the NC Bio Network website, so you can send students there if they want to find out more about it. We also have the dates for when the timeline for scholarship applications. Students need to get it to you by Friday, July 7th. Then you need to have it into Brenda's office by July 14th. Then we have a committee of people who review the scholarship applications. Brenda's on the call, I'm on the call, and we have somebody from the community college system and 3 of our members reviewing the scholarships. And then the awards are announced in August. When we announce the awards, we notify the students by letter, and we also put out a news release once they know. We let Brenda see the news release before we send it out, but we like to recognize the students and help them a little bit along the way. Next slide. Here are some of the students that have received the scholarship with our president, Laura Gunter. We invite the students to our annual meeting in October, and that gives them a chance to be recognized and to meet our members and find out more about the industry. They have a day to network with them. The students here are Stephanie Alston, who's at Durham Tech and the Clinical Trials Program, Gage Lindley, who's with Central Carolina Community College, and Anya Sawyer, who is at College of the Albemarle. The first year, we awarded 3 scholarships and 1 has graduated. Last year, we awarded 5 scholarships, and 1 of them went to Stephanie, who also received one the first year. So you can receive it more than 1 year if you apply again. And we award 3 to 5 scholarships generally. We've enjoyed seeing the applications. Last year, I think we had 24 applications, Brenda, and it was a hard decision because we had so many. I want to make it clear this is not an RTP scholarship. We have given scholarships to students at 7 different community colleges, which has included Durham Tech, Central Carolina College of the Albemarle, Wilson, Beaufort Community College, and Pitt Community College, and Johnston Community College. So next slide. That's the general information about our scholarship. We have enjoyed meeting the students and helping them along the way. They sometimes send us questions. I didn't tell you, but one of the most exciting things about the annual meeting last year was Gage attended, but he also brought his parents along. Most of the students who get the scholarship are not right out of high school, but generally, like most of the community college students that are going back to get a degree. So, questions?
There's nothing.
Dr. Summers, I do want to thank you for taking time out of your day today to provide information on the Sam Taylor Scholarship. As you indicated, it is in its 3rd year, and we are super excited to be able to offer this scholarship opportunity to students who are attending one of our community colleges. Information regarding the scholarship is going to be in the resources guide in the presentation in the handout. But I will also be sending this information out to the financial aid community, and it will also be in our scholarship information guide. We do encourage you to go ahead and start announcing the scholarship to your students so that we can have a lot more to look through and be able to identify some great candidates for this scholarship opportunity.
Brenda, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with everyone, and thank all of you for what you're doing for the students. Financial aid is so important to so many students now, and I've enjoyed talking with you today. And I'm going to leave, and y'all can enjoy the rest of your program. Thank you.
Again, thank you so much, Dr. Summers. We really appreciate your time. And now, without further ado, we're going to move on into State Employee Credit Union, the People Helping People Scholarship. Ms. Jasmine Stevenson, our SECU Foundation Program Analyst, is going to speak with you about that. Many of you are no stranger to her. She worked a few years ago at one of our community colleges, Durham Technical Community College, and now is all in with helping students across the 58 benefit from the People Helping People Scholarship. I'm turning it over to you now, Ms. Stevenson, and just let me know when to move the slides for you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the awesome introduction as well. On the behalf of SECU Foundation, we would like to welcome and thank everyone for attending, and thank you for allowing me to have a little bit of your time today. Today, we'll begin by providing an overview of the scholarship itself, move through our eligibility criteria, highlight any changes that have been made, and we're going to move on through the administration of the scholarship and describe what your responsibilities are as a facilitator, give you a scholarship timeline, and provide any important dates to ensure that you are on track. Throughout the presentation, I will be referencing the scholarship materials that I emailed out to everyone on March the 2nd. If you by chance did not receive that information, our contact information will be at the end of the presentation. You can just shoot us an email and I'll make sure that I get your information updated in our system. Again, if you haven't received it, also check your spam and your junk folders, and we'll make sure that we get that to you if you don't have it. Next slide, please. Again, my name is Jasmine Stevenson. We already went over everything. Yes, I used to work at Durham Tech in the financial aid office. So I have a very close connection with the community colleges. Maybe about half of you may have met me in person already. The SECU Foundation is trying to make sure that we go to all 58 community colleges to make sure that you all feel comfortable having an open line of communication with us, and so that you can let us know if there's anything that we could be doing to better serve your campus. And just to go over go back one slide, I'm sorry. And just go over a brief explanation of the SECU Foundation. About 1 in 4 North Carolinians is a member of the SECU Credit Union. So most of you are likely members, and we thank you so much for being a part of our credit union. The foundation was actually created in 2004. And in that initial foundation year, the foundation was able to raise about almost $7 million. That money came straight from the members' checking accounts, the $1. So if you have a checking account with us, you may notice that $1 comes out per month that goes straight to the foundation, unless you opt out, of course. Up until last year we were able to raise about $19 million that we're trying to spread across all 100 counties in North Carolina. The foundation tries to focus on education, housing, healthcare, and human services. So out of that 19 million, about 10 to 12 million goes to housing, healthcare, and human services, and about 7 million goes to our education scholarships and internships. Next slide, please. All right, just our scholarship overview and eligibility criteria. The criteria outlines our requirements for all recipients selected for the scholarship. This flyer was included in the March 2nd email. In this flyer, we do ask that you post in all schools, on the websites and your social media if possible. And I'll let you all review that. Of course, a minimum GPA 2.5, full-time enrollment. We want our recipients to at least be there for the 2 full years if possible. We do understand that the community college environment is a little bit different, and a lot of the students do end up transferring. Unfortunately, we are unable to reallocate that money if a student does transfer. If that happens to change, we'll make sure that we do communicate that with you all. Preference may be given to students with limited financial aid from other programs, and students should demonstrate leadership, excellence of character, integrity, and community involvement. And we do ask that your recipients have identified financial need through the submission of a FAFSA form. Next page, please. And a few program reminders as a refresher. The SCCU Foundation will distribute a total of 116 scholarships for the 2023 award year. So at the value of $5,000. So each of the 58 community colleges should receive 2 scholarships. The scholarship is payable at $1,250 per semester for 4 consecutive semesters. In this slide, you'll see an example of a roster. So any of our new financial aid folks, if you see an email from me, Jasmine Stevenson, whenever you see this roster sent out, you'll see the column for the student name, the last 4 of the social, so you can verify that as the correct student. There will be a column that shows which semester the student was actually initially awarded. So I know sometimes I'll receive an email. So just to clarify about that, it's the semester that the student was initially awarded. So on this example, one student has fall 2020, so their last payment should have been spring 2022. In the next column, you'll let us know yes or no if the student meets our GPA requirements, and also the other column if the student is full-time enrolled. At this time, we do not offer an option if the student is part-time, so we cannot prorate an award. So this scholarship is to be awarded to students who are high school graduates or students who have completed the GED program and will be full-time enrolled at one of the North Carolina community colleges. Next slide, please. And some other selection considerations, SCCU Foundation asks that preference be given to students who have identified financial need through the submission of a FAFSA form. We are not asking students to submit their FAFSA forms or EFC numbers with the application, so we won't need that. Your responsibility is only to confirm that they indicated yes in response to submitting the FAFSA to meet this requirement. Preference may be given to students whose parents or guardians or family members are public sector employees living and working in North Carolina. This includes state, local, or federal government, public health, and public education. And it is important to note that SCCU membership is not a requirement for this scholarship. So unlike our high school scholarship that does require membership verification, the community college scholarship does not require this. So if a student inquires, just let them know that anyone can be eligible. They do not have to be a member of SCCU. In addition, again, limited financial aid from other programs. The student application for the People Helping People Scholarship allows us to gain more insight into the scholarship recipient's background and future plans. Included in the application are community involvement short answer questions to be typed on page 2 of the application. Unlike previous years, you would have seen an essay question. We have seen that a lot of students have not been very fond of completing the essay question. We want you all to receive as many applications as possible. So this year we are trying to make a few changes. So instead of seeing the essay question on the application, you'll see that we changed it to 3 short answer questions. Let us know if you see that more students are completing the application because of this. Hopefully the short answers will be a little bit more appealing than the essay. And yeah, the essay questions call for examples of community service and leadership, and it must be completed as part of the application. So the application will be incomplete if a student does not complete the short answer questions. Next slide, please. All right, and selection committee and selection letter. So your community college selection committee is responsible for administering, advertising, and selecting the 2 new recipients based on the eligibility criteria provided. The selection committee must consist of 3 or more members and will make the final decision of the recipients from your community college. The selection committee will send selected recipients directly to SECU Foundation for verification with all materials that were provided in the email. We need to make sure that all materials are received, GPA requirements are met. And once the foundation has sent an email confirming receipt of all necessary items, the selection committee may then announce the award. Each community college is required to create a scholarship selection committee, again, comprised of 3 members. And this is very important, a written statement identifying the community college's selection committee and chosen recipients is required, and it must be signed by the committee members and submitted on a community college's letterhead. I know that some community colleges still have a lot of folks that are working remote. If someone's working remote and it's too much hassle to get them to sign it, please have them to send us an email in addition to the selection committee letter, and we'll use that as the signature. And next slide, please. Alrighty, so the foundation has set a deadline of August the 7th, 2023, by which the scholarship selections must be submitted electronically for review of material completion. However, it is recommended that each financial aid office selection committee set an internal deadline for applicants to turn in all scholarship materials for committees to make a final selection to submit. Students should not be notified that they have been selected as a recipient until the foundation has verified that all materials have been received and eligibility criteria has been met. Due to previous COVID-19 social distancing restrictions, SCCU has been unable to participate in a lot of in-person award ceremonies for the past couple of years. However, the standard this year is that ceremonies and celebrations for our recipients will be held in person. If a student cannot go to an award celebration that you all schedule, let us know. We can always have that student attend another celebration at a nearby branch just to make sure that they are recognized and have a photo op. During last semester, we did have a few students who were mainly online that didn't really live by their community college, and we just had them go to another branch to make sure they received their certificate and were able to mingle with the SECU branch folks and be recognized. Next slide, please. And you'll have to press next a few times. It has a few bullet points. Alrighty. So when submitting scholarship recipient packets to the foundation, the community college must be sure to include all of the following. 1, the SECU 2023 student data form. The data form must be typed in the Word document provided. Please do not save the document as a PDF, Google Doc, or any other shared drive. The document is enabled to allow us to import our student data into our database directly. So please just save it as a Word document. To the short answer questions, again, must be on the second page of data form, just have the students type it in. 3, we need the community college selection committee letter. All committee members must sign the documents. And we need the 2023 media consent form. The consent form must be signed by parent, guardian, and student if the student happens to be under the age of 18. I know last year there were 2 separate media forms that we were sending to you all. This year we have comprised it into 1 document, so it will just be 1 consent form for the students to sign. Hopefully that'll be a little bit easier so the students won't be as confused about all those different documents. Next slide, please. And so what is your role as the facilitator throughout this process? The SECU People Helping People administrator role includes the following responsibilities: communicating all updated selection processes and materials with your selection committee, ensuring that the scholarship is advertised to incoming and returning students. Examples: making the scholarship information is posted on the college website, sent through email, share it with the advisors. That's a big one. Please share this information with the advisors. Establish a scholarship selection committee to determine final selection of scholarship winners for the college. Make sure you communicate the final selections with SECU Foundation. If for whatever reason you all are not able to choose recipients by the August deadline, please just let us know. We have no issue extending an extension for you all. We just want to make sure that all 58 community colleges are able to send out some scholarship money. And serve as a point of contact for scholarship related questions for interested candidates. SECU Foundation will direct students back to the community college for questions about processes or deadlines. So if we get a call and a student will ask what the deadline is, we will definitely refer them to you, since you all do have the right to choose your own internal deadline. So we don't want to give them the wrong information. Next slide, please. All right, in timeline, having discussed scholarship criteria and implementation, let's just take a quick look at our general timeline. We have created to give you an opportunity to think about how you'd like to set up your program. I know we have a lot of new people in financial aid, so this is just moving forward. March through April, each college should establish their selection committee and create a process for choosing the recipients at your college. If your school has not already begun this process, please do so as soon as possible. And you can refer to eligibility criteria and operating procedures. By the end of April, your college will want to communicate your process with applicable departments and student advisors. Please make sure you share the eligibility criteria, the application consent form, and the scholarship flyer with people directly advertising and sharing the scholarship with your students. I know Brenda will be adding the People Helping People application into the resources page at the end of this whole program. April, May through June, July, your school should begin receiving scholarship applications from students. As mentioned previously, each college should have a date by which all student applications must be received in order to submit to the selection committee to make selections and submit to the foundation. And in August 7th is the deadline for recipient submission from the colleges to the foundation. Your college will submit the recipient's full scholarship packet to the foundation, who will then verify that all materials have been received and that the GPA and enrollments requirements are met. Please do not announce the recipients until we have confirmed that all criteria is met. And I think that is all. As a full recap, we just need the packet, and it includes the data form, essay, signed consent form, and the signed community college selection committee statement, verifying the choice of the recipients. And next slide, this should be the last one. And thank you so much for facilitating the administration of the People Helping People Scholarship. If any of you have any questions or concerns, please know that this is my email and that is my direct number. If I am out of office, you can also reach out to the general SECU Foundation email. Thank you again for your time. And I look forward to seeing all of your wonderful emails. Again, I've met about half of you throughout the next few months. I'll be reaching out to come see the rest of the beautiful campuses in North Carolina. Thank you again.
Jasmine, thank you so much for your time today and for the information that you shared with us. I believe there's a question in the chat for you, a couple of comments to you, welcoming you to the meeting this morning, but also I believe there is a question in the chat for you.
Let's see, Sarah Carpenter. So Sarah, no, membership is not a requirement for the community college scholarship. So if that question is on the application, you can just skip that line for the students. And hi, Cordelia. Hi, Francis. I miss you all.
Are there any more questions regarding the State Employee Credit Union People Helping People Scholarship? Not seeing any. I hope that you all will push this scholarship. we have worked hard for the past couple of years to at least get one new applicant per 58 community colleges. But we're wanting to set the standards, the bar a little bit higher and encourage two new applicants per community college. So if you all will, I know that you've already received the application packets. You can go ahead and start announcing those to your students and just encouraging them to apply so that we can meet the August 7th deadline and hopefully help some students to pursue or persist with their degrees. Thank you again, Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
All right. All right. Without further ado, next on our agenda is Golden Leaf and Longleaf Complete updates. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Dr. Wanda White, who is no stranger to the North Carolina Community College system.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to give a brief update. I only have 2 slides this morning, and so I will not be with you for very long. Currently, we're in the process. I'm going to ask Ms. Burgess to move to the first slide. Currently, we're in the process of monitoring the Golden Leaf program, as most of you know. One of the things that I wanted to remind everyone is that if there are some colleges that are now reviewing their awards and feel that they are unable to spend a portion of their allegation, I'd like for you to contact the system office and immediately complete the request to reallocate funds. This is the period in which we reallocate funds. We allow colleges to reallocate Golden Leaf funds that they cannot spend. There is a form that you would be required to complete in which you would indicate the total amount that you can spend and the total amount that you will not be able to spend. This form has to be signed by the financial aid director, the business officer, and the president. During the period of January, February, I started contacting colleges that had spent less than 40% of their Golden Leaf allocation and asked them to confirm if they would be able to spend those funds. Fortunately, we were pleased to find out that most of the colleges or all of the colleges said that they would be able to spend those funds. However, if there are some colleges now that had the opportunity to go back and look at their awarding process and find that they cannot, we do want you to reach out to me to notify me so that we can get the reallocation form to you. The Golden Leaf program wants the system, the North Carolina Community College system, to spend the $1,750,000 that they've allocated. And so we want to make sure that that money gets into the hands of needy students. So if your college for some reason cannot spend the money, please let us know so that we can get all of those funds awarded to eligible students. So next slide. Next slide. So the next thing that I wanted to remind everyone of is the reporting period. I want to thank all of you for submitting your fall semester reports to us in January. We got them all in and we were excited that you are so responsive in getting this information to us. But we have 2 more reporting periods that are coming up. May 12th, 2023 will be your reporting period for the spring semester. So you will get a notification from either Brenda Burgess or myself telling you that you would need to complete your spreadsheet and provide all of your awards for the spring semester. And again, you'll also receive a notification for the summer 2023 period. And that report will be due by July 14th, 2023. I want to just remind you to please review your reports before you send them in. Check the business office records for Golden Leaf expenditures that they have sent to the system office, just verifying that your reports match up, and send that information into us. Also double check to see if you have any ineligible counties. I will say that the group did a great job during the fall. We saw that you were paying attention to ineligible counties. There were a few out there from the 21-22 year, but we want to make sure that you check that information out. Please feel free to use and we encourage you to use the dashboard, the system office dashboard that provides you with information on the dollar amount of awards that are showing up in our system. And it shows the dollar amount of expenditures that have been submitted by your business office. Oftentimes we get questions about, Wanda, where did you get that figure from? So we monitor the information from the dashboard. The dashboard pulls the information from Colleague. So we encourage and we require that you put all of your Golden Leaf awards in Colleague, so that if you have awards out there, that when we run our report here at the system office, that information will be pulled over into the dashboard. And our final closeout report from the system office that goes to Golden Leaf is September 30th, 2023. And this is our report that we include your cumulative total of all of the awards that you have awarded for the whole year. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that information with you as well. Okay, and then the next slide, Brenda.
There's a question.
Okay, we have a question.
From Ann Wright, will the Golden Leaf report template be the same that was used in the fall?
It will be the same template, but your template would include your spring semester awards. So it'll be the same template. You will be required to sign. There is a certification statement there. You'll be required to sign it, that document as well. And I think there's a way that you can look on the dashboard and identify ineligible counties. If you have a question about how to do that, if you'll shoot me an email or shoot Brenda an email, we'll be able to share that information with you, so that you'll have all of those checked before you send them in to us. Any other question regarding the reallocation of Golden Leaf? If not, let's talk a little bit about the Longleaf Complete Scholarship Awards. As you know, the Longleaf Complete Scholarship Award program ends in June 30th. June 30th, 2023 will be your last opportunity to award scholarships to these students. This scholarship will end during this period, June 30th. However, the system office reports this scholarship to the Office of State Budget and Management. We report it a month behind schedule, simply because we wait to get the information from the colleges. We reach out to you. Those of you who have awarded Longleaf Complete have received emails from us, in which what we're doing now is verifying the number of awards. We're not verifying any longer the dollar amount, because we know that that amount comes from you, and our business office will reach out to you if they have any questions in that regard. But we want to make sure that if you have students that are eligible for this grant, this scholarship, that you go ahead and award them and send those reports in to, well, at least do those awards through your colleague record. During the month, each month, around the 20th of the month, we receive a report from our business office that tells us the awards that you have made. And once we receive and review that information, then I will contact the college asking you the number of scholarship awards that were included in that total dollar amount. If for some reason that your college made awards in previous months and had to go back and make adjustments in those awards, those adjustments will be reflected in the report of information that I receive on the 20th, around the 20th of the month, that tells me, and it'll tell me that this college made some adjustments or reduced the award amount from a previous period. If you know that happens, I would love to, if you know in advance, if you will contact me and email me to let me know why those adjustments were made. I just need to know that for our record and for the business office record, so that when I do the report, I can include the adjustments that are sent in to the Office of State Budget and Management. If you have any questions about the Longleaf Complete Scholarship Award period, please let me know. My final report to the Office of State Budget and Management will be September 30th of 2023, and that report will be for the month of August. And I'm going to pause here. Do we have any questions? And I will say, if there are no questions, please feel free to email me, and I will be back in touch with you to provide a response. Thank you.
Are there any questions about the Longleaf Complete Scholarship Program before we move forward? Seeing none in the chat, let's move on now to the Gilbert Scholarship. This is a new scholarship. Well, it's not a new scholarship opportunity for us, but many of you have probably heard Ms. Darlene Moore's story. I know she shared it at the spring conference last year, or fall conference, I'm sorry, this past year, and about how she was raised in foster care and has now gone on to establish a 501c3 nonprofit agency to help other students who have been through the foster care system. Well, as of today, I'm proud to announce that she has extended, her agency has extended that scholarship opportunity to 12 of our community colleges. Those colleges include AB Tech, Bladen, Blue Ridge, Brunswick, Cape Fear, Fayetteville Tech, James Front, Johnston, McDowell Tech, Roberson, Southeastern, and Wake Tech. So many of your colleges, these colleges will receive some additional outreach from Ms. Moore and her agency regarding the application process, any deadlines, and just want to let you know that the system office is here to support the Gilbert Scholarship opportunity, and we are willing to do anything that we need to do to help push those applications through to her agency for review and selection. And I believe that the Gilbert Scholarship, it's going to be part of the conference charity this year, the 23 Spring Charity Conference opportunity for this year. So you have a chance to give more monies to the Gilbert Scholarship Foundation, and hopefully it will be extended to our 58 community colleges. Our Finish Line grant, that opportunity is still available to students who have emergency needs. We do encourage you to assist students who have those emergency needs, anything that will help them to remain in school. But want to point out to you that as the system office is gathering report information, we have noticed some, identified some discrepancies and some inconsistencies in providing reports. So we are currently working together as a team at the system office to determine some best practices. And we will certainly be in touch with the colleges. If you have questions about the workflow and any of the setup, we encourage you to go to ServiceNow and look at the scholarship, at the colleague scholarship setup guide that was provided, and make sure that you have set it up correctly in Colleague. And as always, if you have questions about the Finish Line grant for whether it's reporting or an emergency situation that you're not quite sure about, please reach out to our contact, Allison Gorham, who is our Finish Line coordinator. Her contact information is also going to be found on the resources page. Our Summer Accelerator Grant Program, many of you that keep up with our system office, state board announcements, you will see that it is out there. The remaining $2,456,331 allocation is set to run through from April 1st through September 30 of 2023. This grant is certainly designed to assist our students who enroll in the summer and don't have enough hours or aid to cover cost in the summertime. So just to remind you of some of the eligibility requirements, of course, we know that the student must be a North Carolina resident as determined by RDS, enrolled in an eligible CE program, a student who has not previously completed a post-secondary degree. And for us, that means in a degree other than a certificate. They can have a certificate or diploma degree, but must now be working on an associate's degree. So a student with a certificate that has already earned a certificate or diploma, but is now working on an associate degree, would be eligible for the Summer Accelerator Grant Program. Colleges can award up to $5,000 that will be used to cover tuition, fees, books, supplies, transportation, childcare, but it should not exceed your college's cost of attendance. And you can also support those special credit students who are entering or at your institution in the summer, taking classes that they will transfer, back to their four-year college. And right now, because the award is contingent and based on funding from NC Pro, your college's business officers, CFOs, finance offices will receive a memo from our finance team that tells them how much the allocation is, and it's going to be a repeat of what you will see on the state board report, which you will also find in the resources page. But it also tells them, gives them some specific instructions on how the business offices request the fundings, the purpose code that they use, as well as a vote code. So as soon as that information is shared with me, I will gladly pass that along to the financial aid community so that you have that for your records. And now for some FSA Partner Connect updates. I know that many of you subscribe to FSA Partner Connect, but many of you don't, some don't. So I just wanted to take a moment to share with you some of the most important and most recent updates. One being the Pell Grant Administrative Allowance for 22-23. This is the $5 allowance that colleges receive for each Pell Grant recipient attending your school. That money is, of course, used to help defray those costs that are associated with administering Pell, FSEOG, Federal Work Study, and Perkins programs. But that monies can also be used for financial aid, training, travel, and such. So just want to share with you that information, that those allowances are out there, and do encourage you to kind of take a look at it, look at your numbers against what the $5 allocation indicates, because just important to know that that money does not go to, you didn't get a $5 allowance if you had items that students who were marked with a verification flag that's not set to true, and also if you had any rejected FAFSA or rejected ICERs. So take a look at that and just know what your administrative cost allowances are for your institution based on your Pell recipients. Next thing that is of importance on the FSA Partner Connect are requirements and responsibilities for third-party servicers. There's some updated guidance as of February 28th. That information is available. It's also in the resources page. So many of you, if you have anybody that's doing any work outside of your office and considered a third-party servicer and or vendor, for lack of a better term, you want to take a look at the updated guidance. And if there's any documentation or anything that you need to update for your office, just know that, you need to take care of that so that we don't lose our funding. There are going to be some changes coming to the FSA Partner Connect website. The conference, the FSA conference information is going to be moving from FSA conferences.ed.gov to FSA Partner Connect. So all of those past years' conferences, the recordings, the PowerPoint presentations will be moved to FSA Partner Connect. So that may grant you a longer period of time to be able to look at that information and go back and use it as a reference point. Also moving or changing will be the student parent borrower profile updates. It's going to change how Pell LEU looks to students, parents, and borrowers, but it will not change the data or any of the calculations. So just for your reference, you may want to go back out there and take a look at that. Another update, of course, on February 27th, your 2020 draft cohort default rates were released. So for colleges that are participating in the loan program, do encourage you to go out there and take a look at those. And an important message from our one of our partners, Student Connections, Mr. Ben Carey was so kind to share with us that we can make this statement to all 58 community colleges. I know that many of you are partnering with Student Connections regarding your default management plans, but he says to make sure that your rates are at 0%. They found an error that Fed loans that were serviced that were also paid in full, records were possibly transferred to Nelnet or other servicers, are showing up as defaults. Apparently, Fed loans put a date in the default field in their system, which kind of triggered the account information showing up in the school's numerator. So you want to make sure that your rate shows 0%. If it doesn't, you have an opportunity beginning that started on Tuesday, yesterday, to go out there and submit appeals. And those appeals are for incorrect data calculations, any incorrect information, such as a student's graduation date, withdrawal date. Those type things really make a difference. So make sure that you go out there and check your default rates. And as has been indicated, it should show 0%. If it shows anything other than 0, you might want to take a deeper dive into it. Okay, and you've probably heard all over the news, the negotiations or the appeal process started on February 28th regarding the student loan debt relief. As of today, it still remains in deliberation. So just want to make you aware of this statement that the pause is extended until the Department of Education is permitted to implement the debt relief program or a litigation is resolved. payments will start 60 days after that. So you'd be looking at somewhere around the 1st of September, end of August, 1st of September. If the debt relief program has not been implemented and litigation has not been resolved by June 30, payment begins 30 days after. All borrowers, whether they are in repayment or not, will be notified before repayment resumes. So this is important for us all to have some awareness of, even if we're not participating in the loan program. It would just be a good practice at your institution that you have some awareness of what's going on with the current student loan debt relief program. And at this point, that is all that I have to cover this morning. And we do have some minutes left for questions about anything that we have presented or questions in general.
I don't see anything out there.
Okay. Not seeing any questions in the chat. Again, these are resources. All of the information that we have shared today, we have tried to provide a link to it. I know that Ms. Stevenson said that we would provide in the resources page the Credit Union People Helping People Scholarship information. I do not have it on this resources page, but we'll certainly get it out to anyone on the listserv that did not receive this announcement, the memorandum. I think there was an application, the media consent form. If you did not receive that from Jasmine Stevenson, if you will reach out to me, I will certainly get it out to you. But I don't want to flood your email boxes with duplicate information. Our contact information is listed here. We do want to take the time to say again, thank you for all that you do, and hope that you will make the rest of your day very awesome. Any final comments, Dr. White?
Not at this time. I would just say, please reach out to me if you have questions in regard to your awards. We do have a few colleges out there that haven't awarded any funds as of yet, so we do have some concerns about that. But if anything changes and your college is not able to award the funds, please let us know. We do want to have enough time to get funds out to colleges that are requesting additional funds. We want to make sure they have enough time to spend those funds before May 31st as well.
One piece of information in our resources page regarding Golden Leaf is we did include a link to the data dashboard. That dashboard is very informational, very much helpful. There's a lot of information out there regarding it. If you would just take some time out of your day to become familiar with it, it is a public-facing dashboard. You would be able to click on your institution and just see what your student awards are for as of today. So just take a look at that. And if there are no questions, we will give you back 1 minute of your day. Thank you so much again for your time and attention.
Thank you.